It's been a few weeks since we last talked about the endocrine system, but I am doing my absolute best to practice what I am about to preach today. Also, even though the last video was given a walk on a trail vibes due to the congestion in my face at the time, I like the nature visuals, which I'm choosing intentionally for this topic. So, we were talking about how the endocrine system is an intricate network of communication that controls bodily functions via hormones. And we also talked about endocrine disruptors like processed foods and environmental toxins, which throw the endocrine system off. But chronic stress, y'all, is a big endocrine disruptor. For people with uteruses, there's a very important, and for the continuity of this metaphor, we'll say conversation, called the HPO axis, which stands for the hypothalamic pituitary ovarian axis. And the hypothalamus, which is like a control center, sits above the pituitary gland in the brain and sends it instructions concerning various bodily processes. But one of those commands is communicated via gonadotropin releasing hormone, which gets sent to the pituitary gland, kind of like a text message reading, "Hey, I need you to release some follicle stimulating hormone and some luteinizing hormone in case this person wants to make a baby this month." And then the pituitary gland follows those instructions, causing follicle stimulating hormone to stimulate follicles in the ovary, along with luteinizing hormone stimulating ovulation. Now, when you introduce chronic stress into the conversation, it messes with the hypothalamus gland and throws its rhythm off. So imagine that too much cortisol in the body, which is a stress hormone, causes the hypothalamus to start drunk texting the pituitary gland, and it's not sending enough gonadotropin releasing hormone. And in response, the pituitary gland is like, I don't know what you're trying to say. I think you want me to release some follicle stimulating hormone and some luteinizing hormone, but I'm not clear on what you're trying to say, so I'm not going to do it. And next thing you know, you can't find your period, which is actually called hypothalamic amenorrhea. If you think about it, there are so many ways that our bodies are built to be kind to us because the reproductive design says, who's going to make you grow a baby if you're too stressed? So, for people trying to conceive a pregnancy, removing chronic stress from your life is paramount. Chronic stress can be physical, like exercising too much or being underweight. It can be nutritional stress from lack of good nutrition for whatever reason. It could be psychological stress, like a job you can't stand to go to. The point is, carrying around chronic stress can negatively impact your reproductive health. And as I've stated before, your reproductive health is connected to your overall health and vitality. And now is as good a time as any to start cultivating strategies for removing chronic stress from our lives. That's why I'm sitting with my feet in the water, y'all. I am on a mission to go nowhere in a hurry. I know it's impossible to get rid of stress altogether, but at least we can begin to eliminate what is absolutely unnecessary.